I'm with Vinnie Virga, formerly the president of Flooring America, now in the Big Bob's business. And because we're sitting down, this may be the longest interview I do during services. Vinnie, how you doing?
I'm doing terrific. How are you today?
Okay, you are one heck of a story in this business. You come out, we were wondering what you're going to do, and all of a sudden you're going to be the biggest Big Bob's franchise in the country, and you're starting off like a house on fire. Yeah. Talk about that.
Well, you know, it's an incredible opportunity right now. The market, I don't know that we're going to see market conditions like this, at least in my lifetime, ever again. So we're taking advantage. We're opening. We can't open quick enough, honestly. It's that good.
Well, I guess one thing is money is never going to be any less expensive, I suppose, than it is now. And I suppose in the real estate business, it's a great time to make deals.
It is. We're finding that we're able to acquire property at least $100,000 under appraised value. We're finding interest rates, you know, the SBA program for anybody in the floor covering business right now is incredibly reasonable. You can do SBA 504s, 10% down if you qualify. And that's all right. 10% down. And not only that, the interest rates are so bloody low. 20-year fixed on 40% of the note at 4.3 or 4.2% interest. It's just silly how inexpensive it is.
You know, they used to say when the bubble was building that your store was a living, or at least the business was a living, and the store was your retirement. I don't know. Is that the case anymore, you think?
Well, I think, you know, if you're going to be any kind of small business entrepreneur, you always want to own your real estate. It's one of the safest paths to retirement and succession planning. And whether your family stays in the business or not, it allows you to have a retirement life that's full and secure. So,
now, Vinnie, I mean, it's one thing being able to get property inexpensively and to qualify for loans at a low rate and so on, but you still have to have a whole lot of confidence, number one, in the Big Bob's concept, and number two, a lot of confidence you can get people in your markets, which is in the Northeast and the Massachusetts area, to walk through the front door. Talk about that aspect.
Our actual market's all of New England and upstate New York, and really, Big Bob's is the only value play, I think, today that works in the industry. There is not another successful value play that I know of. Maybe you know of one, but I can't think of one. All the others are shrinking like crazy or closing. And so Big Bob's resonates with the consumer. And after 2008, we all know the psychographic model for female consumers has become treasure hunters. And Big Bob's advertising, the value that they offer, and the merchandising program that they put together works. You know, our returns are, you know, double-digit after owner income. Now, under this administration and government. That's pretty impressive. I mean, we've opened 3 stores in 13 months. It really works well. It's almost a no-brainer.
That's remarkable. And, of course, I guess the environment is we're seeing the big box players expand, and that's a natural just because people walk by the floor covering in their several visits per month that they make to some of the Big Bob's, or some of the big box, I should say. Yeah. It seems like the specialty store share, obviously, then are shrinking, and that gives the specialty players, Big Bob's is one of which, are in a growth mode.
Well, there's a growth opportunity, and I think any good retailer right now has an opportunity to grow, not just Big Bob's. It's just that Big Bob's resonates with a treasure hunter or a value-oriented customer more than any other brand. So it's the easiest horse to win with. That's why we joined Big Bob's. We love the people. We love the fact that they're inexpensive. They don't have a lot of fees or requireds and all that crazy stuff that gets so annoying as a retailer. And it resonates. But the fact is, if you're marketing and you're aggressive with your marketing and you have good marketing, you can drive customers in today. And there's market share out there for anyone to drive, and certainly Big Bob's is doing a terrific job of driving customers in.
And I guess Big Bob's has changed over the years, more higher-end goods, more hard surface, I expect, and that's a natural for growth.
Absolutely. We do, our number one category is still carpet, but carpet's roughly 30% of our business in New England. Of course, as you go across the country, everywhere is different. Our number 2 category is hardwood. And we sell a lot of hardwood at margins that most retailers would probably kill for. And then right behind there is ceramic and laminate. So we do a tremendous amount of hard surface and at very, very nice margins. our average ticket's $1,200 in New England. So we're not. It's not cheap, and we're getting affluent customers. It's not low end. It's probably I like to call it upper low to the upper middle is really who we serve, and it's a very thick market, and there's lots of consumers there looking for value.
So I guess a typical consumer would, okay, we've been putting this purchase off for a long time. We really need to, start to dress this place up. Although I don't want poor quality, but I want a deal.
Right.
And then that would drive somebody into a Big Bob, say, who maybe 10 years wouldn't have thought about going.
Well, Big Bob's has changed so much. I mean, when they started, their roots were in, Big Bob's used carpet way, way back in the day, clearly aimed more at the lower end of the market. We're much more upscale. So, it's nothing for us to do a $20,000 or $30,000 house today. And when that customer starts to think about buying, they see our commercials, and they go, hey, I'm going to check that place out. And then when they come in, and they're pleasantly surprised by the breadth of selection and the values they see, then it becomes an easy choice.
Well, I guess, too, it's what is Scott Perrin, the Costco effect, the fact like, hey, there's a lot of stuff here, and it's well presented, and they figure, hey, if I can't find it here, I don't know that I'm going to be able to find it anyplace.
Exactly. You're 100% correct. Yeah.
So before you decided with Big Bob's, and you've been in this industry a long time, retailing as well as anybody in the whole industry, did you have a checklist of things you went through? Okay, I could open a store without any involvement with anybody else, so there's all these groups. I'm sure you went through that whole list.
I did. I looked at everything. I started at ground zero. My wife and I spoke about it, and we decided we didn't want to move, so that was the driver that said, okay, we're going to go back into retail. That was the first choice. Maybe we should have went warmer, but we didn't. And then we started going through. So we looked at every major group you can think of, and all of them had expressed interest in us joining their groups, including CCA. And we looked at all of those opportunities, and when it came down to it, the best choice for us was Big Bob's. Low cost, resonated with the consumer, already built, worked, and it was really a simple choice.